Hare Krishna. In this video, I am going to list down all the steps which are required to create a new site, installing apps in that site, and then designing some basic parts like logo and then setting them up in the website, portal, all these places. So to begin with, first of all, we need a domain which will also be called a site in the tutorial now. Suppose I have a domain with me. This I have created a domain lko.vcmerp.in. LKO stands for Lucknow. So I'm going to create a instance of ERP for Lucknow. So lko.vcm.erp. This is the site which I'm going to work on, going to set up and install the apps. Okay. So first step is to create a new site. So we'll open our terminal, and here in the terminal we have to write new site lko.vcm.erp.in and db name hkm lko. So what will happen when your database, this will actually create a new site, and along with the site it will also create a database, and the database will be named as hkm lko. If you do not define this property db name, then it will take some random database name, just like if I show here, these are various data types here. So all these data types are actually connected to some site, like this HKM quota is connected to this site erp.hkmquota.org. HKM Udaipur is connected to erp.hkmudaipur.org. Like that, there are various databases, and all these databases are respectively connected to one site, and these databases were automatically created at the time of the site creation. So as we click on this bench new site lko.vcmerp.in, it will actually create a database hkm lko inside our database. Also it will create a folder in the sites folder. You can see here, now there is one more folder here, lko.vcmerp.in. So this is how the new site will be set up along with the database. Next, enable scheduler. So scheduler is responsible for running some scheduled tasks in that site. So it's very simple. We have to just now whenever we refer to a site, because there are many sites, so where we want to run our bench command, for that we need to specifically tell which site we want to operate on. So bench site lko.vcm.erp, then enable scheduler. So by default it will be disabled. So if you click on this, so it will enable the scheduler. So this is how we can enable. Next is install apps ERP next HKM Dhananjaya. So in this order only you install. The reason is there are ERP next is the after Frappe app, ERP next is the most important app, as we know, and HKM is on top of ERP next, because using many of the doc types and customizations, and those customizations are actually on top of ERP next. So HKM is dependent on ERP next, so we need to install ERP next as well. And then Dhananjaya application is dependent on HKM application, so we need to install in this order only, ERP next, HKM and Dhananjaya. So whichever site we want to, the apps when we want to install, we can use this command install app and then mention the app name. First ERP next, then HKM, then Dhananjaya, like that. So all these three commands we can run here, and we can install all these three applications. Mostly there should not be any error, but there can be some errors sometimes if suppose it is not able to find some fields, or some issue may come up like that, but generally it will not come. But those issues are easily resolvable, because we can read what's missing and we can just add that and then we can go forward. Next is creating and migrating fixtures. This is important. So actually there are many custom fields we have created in, suppose we have these many around 8 to 9 sites available in our bench, and the first site which I created, that is hkmjerp.in, and in hkmjerp.in I have created many custom fields also for the standard doc types of ERP Next app. Now as we know that we don't want to make any changes in the ERP Next app, because then we'll not be able to update our ERP Next to the next version whenever there is some update available by the ERP Next people. So we need to make sure that we don't do any tweaking with the original ERP Next. So for all those customizations we create custom fields. So now these custom fields, because they are stored in site, these custom fields are actually site specific, they are not app specific. So all those such changes, they are stored in hkmjerp site. So hkmjerp site means hkmjerp's database, it is stored there, those custom fields. Apart from that, many roles which are not you can say originally available in the ERP Next, some custom roles which I have created. So those roles also, one option is that whenever I create a new site, I have to go there in that site and create new roles. That's one option, but it is not good, because every time I create a site I'll have to create all those roles which are required to run my application. Then next is the permissions. In my original, like in hkmjerp in Jaipur site, I have made some custom permissions. Suppose in the original, if I open here, you see suppose if I open accounts manager. So for the accounts manager role, there are some particular permissions, and these permissions are by default, they are first time when we install ERP Next, they will be imported here. But suppose if I make some changes here, now what I wish is, I don't want to make these changes again and again in all the sites whenever I create them. So what I should do is, I can also copy all these permissions from the new site. So like there is permission, there is custom field, there is role, there are many such things which are once set up in the first site, that is hkmjerp.in. I don't want to do the manual work again and again for all the sites. What I can do is, I can use the fixtures. It's very interesting that I can define my fixtures, and all those customizations which I have in Jaipur site, I can take them to all the sites available. Like for hkmjerp, so these many custom fixtures I have. Donor address state, like it contains all the states, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh. So this is a data actually of the database. So it is not part of the application. So all these states I don't want to create again and again in the further sites. So this fixture will bring all the data of states. This will bring all the workflow action master, then workflow state, then role, then various workflow. Just like in Dhananjay application, on donation receipt doc type, we have a workflow. So that workflow, if not imported, our application will not run. So one way is to create that duplicate workflow manually, but that there is a chance of making mistakes. So we can directly use these fixtures, we can import the workflows, we can import the custom fields, and this can be customized if we want to import more of the customizations from the Jaipur ERP. So like that we can make write down all the customizations which we want to import there. So once all these are written, we can then just run a command, bench export fixtures. Now why I'm not mentioning the site at the beginning? I should have mentioned this, that from where I want to export the fixtures. I did not mention this site because it is selected as default. So you can mention also, you need not to mention also. So like that, when you click on this export fixture, it will generate all the fixture files. Like in HKM I have set up this fixtures. So here you see, it will generate all the data in JSON format. So it is now ready. Next thing what I have to do is, then whichever site I want to import these fixtures, suppose this is the site. So just run this command migrate on that site, and it will fetch all these customizations into the database of lko.vcmerp.in. So this is pretty easy for us to shift or transfer all the customizations from one site to another site. So this is how we can use the fixtures to do a task. Next is generating let's encrypt certificate for HTTPS. Since we wish to have our website secure and HTTPS enabled, so in Bench there is a wonderful facility, that is that directly you can use a command and do the task automatically. Where is that command? Here it is. So this is the command, let's encrypt, and then mention the site. There is a document as well available on the website. You can Google Frappe Bench let's encrypt and you will be there. So when you run this, it will automatically fetch a certificate, and also it will set up into the Nginx configuration, and everything is automatically done, nothing to be done manually, and this will do the task. Next we have basic setup with the administrator account. So now we are done with the console part. Now we have to actually go to the page. We have to open our site vcm.erp.in like that. So when we will open it first time, it will ask some basic configuration like company name, like first user you want to create, and with the passwords, like that basic setup will be there. And once you are done that, you will be on this page like this. Okay, so this is the first portion which is complete. Next is we want to set up a few configurations for the design of the ERP. Like here you are seeing this logo, but originally this logo was not there. This ERP Lucknow, there was some E stands for ERP Next. E logo was there. It was not there. So how to set up all those logos and design, that's we are going to discuss now. So generating logo and favicon, what I am doing is I am following a particular structure for all the ERPs so that it is easy for us to go forward. So in Canva I have created two files. In one of them I am maintaining all such designs. Like for whichever I am creating, I just mention that place name, ERP Lucknow, ERP VCM, ERP Udaipur, like that. So it is easy for me to identify on which ERP I am working currently. So this is how I can create as many. If more places are coming up, I can duplicate and add the name, and I can save it as logo. Another folder I am maintaining, there is the favicons. Favicons mean the small icons which appears while loading the page. Just like if I refresh this page, you will see this. You see this is L coming there. So this is favicon. This, or on top of here also, this sign it has not taken. It has not changed because recently I have done this change, so it is not reflected here. So soon it will be reflected, and it will also showing the L, just like for Jaipur it shows here JP. So similarly I can create one favicon as well, and I can download it from here, and then I have to set up it there. So what and all I have to set up is website setting first of all. So go to website setting. Now here first thing you have to do is, in home page you should mention login. So what will happen whenever somebody opens suppose lko.vcm.erp.in, it will first open the login page, not something else, so that there is no confusion. Here you can set up the name of the app, so it will be showing here login to like this. Then disable sign up means this will not allow the new users to directly sign up from there. Then app logo. Now this is important. This will this is showing here ERP Lucknow because we have set it up here as app logo. Here it is. Okay, so this is done. Then come to navbar and then brand. So here also the same logo we can use again. So this is what it is. So you can keep something else also. Then splash image. Splash means whenever the page loads or that time. So this is favicon only I am using. And in brand HTML, just mention this, or I think it is need not to be mentioned also. I have not tried it since I have done it in previous ERPs. I have not tested, but I am just copying it from there and using it the same way. Okay. Then below here we can use the favicon again. Okay. Everything is done. If in footer we want to mention something, and all the other are some small details we can play around. Next we have to do is portal setting. So go to portal setting. There default portal home, this we should set up as /app. So it will by default open the home page of the ERP application. It will not take us somewhere else. So keep it as /app. And hide standard menu. It will otherwise unnecessarily create confusions for the user. So better to keep it hide. And then next is navbar setting. So this navbar setting is important for what should be visible here at this location when a user is logged in. When a user is not logged in, that comes under website setting. That time also we have set up a navbar brand logo something there. So when a user is logged in the application, what should be visible to them here? This is what is application logo. So we have to set it up from here. And this logo width we can keep it 165, so it will look better. I have just tested for this particular design and it is coming out perfectly if we keep the logo width to be 165. So this is how we can keep navbar setting. Then email domain setting. So we'll have to set up an email domain also which will be used to send new emails, or for the whole application we will be using one email that will be sending varieties of communications to the users. So for that we need to go to email domain, and here by default we will find some example and all. So we have to delete all that and to create our own. Currently I am using Gmail domain only. So let me just mention here gmail.com. I'll just copy from the other settings how I have done there. IMAP this 993 5 outgoing server 587. Okay, done. So this is gmail.com. Now I have to create an email account of this domain gmail.com. So to add a new email address, we need to get app password from gmail.com. Suppose this is my account, same vcm.notify@gmail.com. Go to security, click on password. Click on two-step verification. There at the bottom you will find app passwords. Click on this. Here you can mention any name for the app. Suppose I am just mentioning here again Dhananjaya VCM LKO. So it will create a new password which I have copied I didn't show it on the screen. So I copied it and I'll go back to my setup. Now here mention that same email ID at the gmail.com. Here I'll mention that password gmail.com. Other settings are same. Default outgoing. You can say VCM notify. Everything is okay now. Control S. Account is set up. So let's test. I'll create a new user now. I'll create it again because he has not received the mail. Okay, it has sent the email. Let me check in the queue. Yes, it is sent. Perfect. So our email is working, and now we can set up users and then give them different roles, and this is how we are done with the complete installation of this site and setting up basic things in that. Hare Krishna.